What's up, guys? Going live here. I'm just going to tweet out this link, but I want to talk about this article that was originally written by Chad Holloway for PokerNews.com. I think this story is just kind of interesting to me on a couple levels. One, this article was just blatantly plagiarized, um, just essentially copied. Like they didn't really try to hide it, but um, this is Chad Holloway's Twitter. Yesterday, he retweeted. This is a word for word plagiarized ripoff article of the article I wrote for Poker News. And the person that retweeted it is Donald Trump Jr. So Donald Trump Jr. is Donald Trump's son, and I think this is important for a lot of reasons. Just he has almost 10 million followers on Twitter. He retweets this and says, "LOL, where are the feminists?" Let's get into the articles, and I'll just show you what's going on here. This is the Poker News article. It's under this section in news called the Muck. You see the picture here with the Muck title. What's crazy is they use the same thing. This obviously isn't their brand, realnews.com, but they're using the same exact image. And I'm just going to read sentence by sentence the articles so you get a feel for how blatantly plagiarized and copy they are. This is starting with the Poker News one. On Saturday night, Day 1B of the World Poker Tour 3500 Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown was taking place in the main ballroom at the Seminole Hard Rock in South Florida. On a recent Saturday evening, the World Poker Tour 3500 Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown was taking place in the main ballroom of the Seminole Hard Rock in South Florida. Across the hall, event number 48, $250 Ladies No Limit Hold'em was also playing out. Meanwhile, across the hall, the event number 48, $250 Ladies No Limit Hold'em tournament was also underway. That tournament attracted 83 entries and offered up a $17,430 prize pool. This event attracted 83 entrants and boasted a prize pool of $17,430. Unfortunately, one of the competitors was a man, Dave Hughes, who wound up winning it for $5,555. Regrettably, one of the competitors, a man named Dave Hughes, participated and eventually won the event, pocketing $5,555. Per state law, management is unable to bar a man from entering a ladies' event in Florida. Florida state law prohibits management from barring a man from entering a ladies' event, and thus Hughes was allowed to compete. Ebony Kenny documented the whole ordeal on Twitter. It's a link to her kind of post on Twitter here that she made. Ebony Kenny chronicled the entire situation on her Twitter account. Others graciously contributed to the bounty, including Jeff Platt, Michael Burke, Jake Farrow, and Frank Stapuchin, and even Hughes himself. Additional individuals, including Jeff Platt, Michael Burke, Jake Farrow, Frank Stapuchin, and even Hughes himself contributed to the bounty. And Poker News quotes Ebony here saying, "The spirit of this has been fun since we're here now," Kenny said of the bounty. Kenny described the atmosphere as enjoyable despite the unusual circumstances. According to Kenny, Hughes began the match with a 6-1 chip lead and, this is quotes, asked for the $100 back he contributed for his bounty. However, Kenny also reported that Hughes started the heads-up match with a 6-1 chip lead and then requested the return of his $100 bounty contribution. This is Kenny talking on Poker News. He's now down 3-1 in chips and has talked completely disrespectfully to the dealer. Nice guy facade has crumbled. He later lost his lead and became disrespectful towards the dealer, causing his polite facade to crumble. This isn't even quoting Ebony on this site, Real News Now, but they're using the same word that she said, facade. The victory did not sit well with many in attendance, and understandably, there were some harsh criticisms on social media. The outcome was not well received by many in attendance, and unsurprisingly, harsh criticism surfaced on social media. I mean, this is just like word for word. Then on Poker News, they go in to show the results here. You see the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown Ladies Events results. Here on Real News, the results of the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown Ladies event were as follows, and they list the results. As word spread throughout the poker community, many prominent members weighed in on the topic of men entering ladies events. This incident spurred on a larger conversation within the poker community about men participating in ladies-only events. Then Poker News goes on to quote Linda Johnson, who's a Poker Hall of Famer. I love ladies-only poker tournaments. I would have no problem with them having a men's-only, and I wouldn't enter it as I would not qualify for it, said Poker Hall of Famer Linda Johnson. Poker Hall of Famer Linda Johnson expressed her opinion saying, I love ladies-only poker tournaments. I would have no problem with them with them having a men's-only event, and I wouldn't enter it because I wouldn't qualify. She says some more stuff. Then they go down and say, Kevin Martin took to Twitter to ask for thoughts. Kevin Martin asked his Twitter followers for their thoughts on the matter. Shows a little tweet from Kevin Martin here. Picture of Dave Hughes. Charlie Carroll, who hasn't shied away from sharing his opinion on many topics of late, responded with the following. Charlie Carroll, never one to shy away from voicing his opinions, responded by highlighting several key points. I mean, this is just word for word, sentence for sentence, paragraph for paragraph, but also person for person. Like, they could have just mixed up the order of these people on this site to make it look less plagiarized, but they didn't. This lists a bunch of quotes that Carroll mentioned from his Twitter. They do the same thing on here. Notice they're not quoting him or using the Twitter picture. They're just sort of writing and emphasizing what they're saying on here. Go down a little bit. Poker pro Matt Glantz also weighed in by citing gender identity. Poker pro Matt Glantz also commented on the situation, referring to the issue of gender identity. Again, like just person for person. Here's the quote from Matt. Twitter. Andy Block responded by stating, Andy Block responded to his remarks. Again, like we're just going person for person. Like, it's crazy to me. While the debate continues online, Kenny did send out another tweet to bring back to the true spirit of the event. As the debate continued online, Ebony Kenny sent out another tweet to remind everyone of the true purpose of the event. The same quote here, had a blast connecting with all the women who played the WPT Ladies event yesterday, met so many embodied confidence members, and had so many beautiful combos and moments. This is what it's all about. Had a blast connecting with all the women. Again, it's the same exact quote. They actually quote her here. Not the first time. A man entering a women's tournament is not uncommon. This incident is not the first time a man has entered a women's poker tournament. In many states, it's against the law to restrict a man from entering, such as Nevada at the World Series of Poker. In many states, it's against the law to prevent men from participating, including at the World Series of Poker in Nevada. However, in 2013, the WSOP worked some magic to make the buy-in for the ladies event $10,000, with women receiving a 90% discount, so just $1,000 for them. However, in 2013, the WSOP managed to establish a $10,000 buy-in for the ladies event while offering a 90% discount, making the buy-in only $1,000 for female players. I'm just reading the same exact thing. Like, it sounds like I'm just reading the same article twice. I wonder if this is like buried deeper in the article, so they just plagiarized it more blatantly and didn't care. I don't know. That was legal and meant any man who wants to enter would have to pony up the entire $10,000. This strategy was legal and discouraged men from entering, as they would have to pay the full $10,000. While a deterrent, it hasn't stopped all men from entering the tournament. 6 years ago, Tony Roberto jumped in after losing a prop bet. More recently, Minnesota's Tom Hammers entered in an attempt to raise money for charity. Although this tactic has been effective, it has not completely deterred men from attempting to enter women's events as seen in the past. 6 years ago, Tony Roberto participated in a women's event after losing a prop bet, and more recently, Tom Hammers of Minnesota entered the event to fundraise for charity. You notice how it's just completely copying the same exact position every person has put in the article. Even with noble intentions, men are almost always criticized for entering a ladies' event, which is designed to offer women their own place to play where they might feel safer, have more fun, etc. Regardless of their intent, men have typically faced criticism when entering ladies-only events, which are designed to provide women with a comfortable, enjoyable space to play poker. Hugh's victory wasn't the first time a man has won a ladies' tournament. Hugh's victory is not the first time a man has won a women's tournament either. Back in 2009, Abraham Kurokti won the $300 ladies event at the Borgata Open, besting a field of 269 entries. In 2009, Abraham Kurokti won a $300 ladies event at Borgata Open, besting a field of 269 participants. Kurokti won that tournament for $20,982 and didn't make any friends when he denied a chop with Nicole Rowe, who had recently been diagnosed with breast cancer and was hoping to use the prize money toward medical care. Kurokti won the event with the prize of $20,982, but faced backlash when he refused to split the pot with Nicole Rowe, who had been diagnosed with breast cancer and intended to use the winnings for her medical expenses. I mean, come on. At the time, Borgata Director of Poker Marketing Ray Stefanelli issued the following statement. On this occasion, Borgata Director of Poker Marketing Ray Stefanelli issued a statement saying, they used the statement here, the same statement Poker News used, it's quoted. Despite most men steering clear of ladies' events, there are seemingly those without shame, as seen this past weekend down in Florida. Despite the efforts of most men to respect these women-centric events, the recent incident in Florida demonstrates that there will always be those who choose to cross the line. At least they use some different wording there. On a positive note, the WPT did host a social media contest during the tournament, and one lucky winner received a passport to the WPT Ladies Championship at Wynn Las Vegas in December. On a brighter note, during the tournament, the WPT hosted a social media contest, and one fortunate winner received a passport to the WPT Ladies Championship at Wynn Las Vegas in December. That's the whole article, right? Just straight up plagiarism. I mean, the first thing I thought when I saw these two articles sort of side to side was like, there must not be a big penalty for this, right? Like, this is such blatant plagiarism. They're just taking the article and copying it. I mean, to be honest with you, I used to do this shit when I was in high school. But if I got caught, I would get kicked out of school. So if there are like major media outlets doing this, like I'm curious if there's not really a big penalty or something because they're doing it so blatantly. I don't want to get too political into my beliefs or whatnot, but I do believe that Donald Trump Jr. is sort of spinning this in a way that maybe the article is sort of implying. I don't really know. I'm not looking at it from like a what is the goal, what is he trying to accomplish perspective, but more just how similar the articles are and what is the implications of someone like Donald Trump Jr., who has 10 million followers, tweeting this out. Like, what does that mean? If he, again, I'm almost positive Donald Trump Jr. does not know this article's plagiarized or he would never have tweeted it out. But what are like the greater implications? There are 10 million people that follow him on Twitter. They're seeing this article on his feed. Like, obviously a lot of them trust him. So I'm just curious, like, how often this type of stuff is happening and how frequent it is. Because this is clearly Chad's article. It's not even that Donald Trump Jr. isn't citing Chad. It's just that someone ripped off his article and nobody, like, this article's still up on Donald Trump's Twitter. Donald Trump Jr. Sorry, I get confused between these two guys. I'm gonna see if anybody's in chat and take some questions, but I just thought this was a pretty interesting topic. Um, yeah, so we don't have a lot of people in chat. I'm gonna post this to my Twitter later. I just think it's really interesting. You know, again, I'm not going to get into the political side of it, but there are two things. Just one, the blatant plagiarism of the article, the copying of it is just kind of jarring. Um, and then two, just the implications of one, how much, if this is happening on this site, it's obviously happening a lot. I don't think these are isolated incidents. But two, how much like fact checking, how much back checking into these articles are these people on Twitter posting? Like Donald Trump Jr. can do whatever he wants, but he has 10 million followers. So if he tweets something like this and it's a plagiarized article, a copied article, you know, it's not that he's deceiving his followers. It's just that where's the fact checking? Like where is yeah. I'm probably gonna end this puppy now, but yeah.